Hello everyone, my name's Anthony. I have a history with addiction, mostly alcohol. It's been a big issue for me most of my life. I guess my goal today is to tell you what has the sorts of things that have been happening for me as a result of being a part of the chaplaincy here under Stuart Woods and the Sorted program, the Way Out ministry, and now I'm actually coming to St Luke's. I've been almost consistent coming to Sundays at St Luke's, and I've been enjoying that very much. It was challenging at first, yeah. I found myself in prison as a result of my behaviour, as a result of my addictions, and I fell into a disastrous relationship because I was a disaster myself, so I attracted someone like-minded. And together we really made a problem for ourselves, and I ended up in jail for 6 months. As a result of that, I was fortunate enough to be approached by Red Cross, who was running a post-release prison mentorship program in the prison there, and a wonderful man by the name of Maluk became my case manager, and they gave me aftercare when I left prison. They helped me find a place to live, they helped me do all kinds of things, and they were very helpful. One thing Maluk strongly encouraged me to do was to come to Stuart's Sorted course. I resisted this for a time because I've been through a lot of sort of programs. I've done rehabs before. I've done AA on and off. I've tried to tackle this problem many times, but one of the key differences I'm finding now, and certainly this is in much of the literature I've come across before, is that I was isolated and trying to deal with a problem that is well beyond my ability to deal with. I never wanted to go to prison, yet I found myself there because of the actions I continued to do. And so coming to Sorted gave me a route into being amongst others who were also trying to combat their problems. And also, I also have, I've studied psychology at university, criminology as well, and so that equipped me to be able to see, along with the AA and the rehabs that I've been through, enabled me to see that there's really good educational stuff that Stuart is providing at the Sorted program. I was really at my wit's end. I was still drinking, I was trying not to, but again, I was isolated and alone, and all I had was Maluk really was calling me up and saying, come on, how you doing? And anyway, so he encouraged me very strongly to come to Sorted, so I eventually did. I came, and I haven't looked back since. It hasn't been the best, I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, where I know I can be, where I've been in the past, but what's changed from then to now is that I'm no longer isolated. I feel very much a part of this community here. Just the last time I was at church, I actually went up to one of the other ministers, and I said to him that I'd been watching his videos because I live in Marrickville, and I make a point of travelling all the way out here because I love this program so much. And I made a point of saying to him that it was been very helpful for me to be able to watch YouTube videos of the sermons that I've missed from the past, and I'm just finding that really good. Another aspect of my character from the past as well that I love about being here is that I've known God for a long time, but I resisted him and walked away from him, and I didn't do the things I knew I should be doing, to overcome my issues, my problems, the things that led me back to drinking time and again. And the biggest one, as I've said before, is isolation. So I approached this minister and I said to him, I was really grateful for being able to watch YouTube videos of his sermons, and I enjoyed the references, pop culture references, which I really identify with as well, which really, there's something about the preaching here that I just love, so much. It sort of goes from raw to real to, it's just, I don't know, man, I feel the Holy Spirit speak to me when I come here, and I certainly see it through the work that Stuart is doing here, and the benefits in my own life. So I went from someone who kept drinking all the time and couldn't stop, and I still struggle, I have to be honest, I'm not by any stretch out of the woods, but through Stuart's guidance and encouragement and that of, just being in this environment, and not feeling so alone, I've now been able to get off the dole. And that was a big deal. Getting off the dole was a really big deal for me, because I guess my family background, we're working class people, and I always felt ashamed of not being able to provide for myself and having to rely on the government to make my way in the world. And so being able to get off the dole was a really big deal for me. I'm now employed, effectively self-employed through an application that I've found that was suggested to me called Airtasker, which it's not a plug for Airtasker, it's the way I'm making money now, and I'm able to pay my rent, and that's a huge deal. I'm able to feed myself. And I guess for people who haven't been on the street and haven't been in jail, to be able to hold your head up and pay your taxes and pay your debts, which I have significant debts. That's another thing sorted has helped me with my finances. I'm on a program, I'm paying off my debts slowly but surely. Again, I'm not out of the woods. I still have a long way to go. But on the whole, I feel like I can look people in the eye now, I feel like I'm able to accomplish so much more. And I really want to say too that Stuart himself is the driving force here, and I couldn't do this if it weren't for him. I'm sure God would find another person. God can do anything, but He's chosen Stuart for this work, and I know how hard this work is because I was a disability worker as well in my career, and I work with people with significant problems, and Stuart is working with people such as myself who have significant problems, and given I just have to say to you all that what kind of a man would lend a person like me with my history and my background? He's lent me his own tools so that I can do the work that I'm doing now, because I couldn't afford to buy my own. And that more than anything else spoke to me. It's like sorry everyone. If a man is willing to risk his own possessions that he needs to use for his own well-being and for work in this church, then that speaks to me more than anyone who will preach. You can preach all day long, but show me your actions, and that's what the word says. It says, show me your deeds. By your deeds you will know them. And when Stuart did that for me, without any prompting from me, I simply mentioned some things, and he says, "Come around," and he gave me lunch, and took me out in the workshop, and he said, "Here's all this stuff," and gave me a drill, lent me his drill and his ladder, and gave me a toolbox and all this stuff, and now I can do a lot more work that I couldn't do before. See, I have the skills, but I didn't have the gear. I know I'm harping on this a lot, but I had nothing. I live in this horrible place, and I really want to get out of there, I want to convey to you all that, I have made progress, and I feel equipped to continue to make progress through all the good works that is being done in this church here. And I hope that you guys will give generously, because this program is way underfunded. Stuart actually has to work at other things to fund it himself. He's not able to devote as much time as he wants to. I know this. He really wants to do more, and the need is endless. The need of people like myself, it's just a bottomless pit. And as I've said, I had nothing, and I wasn't able to give back except through perhaps this message here. Maybe I can be a face of someone who is actively benefiting from the good work that's being done here. And I really feel like I've got a family again. I feel like I'm supported. I have people I can ring up. If I come across a job I can't do, there's a couple of blokes that I can ring and they can give me advice. Stuart himself is pretty handy, and that's just one small thing, but as I've said, that's a really big deal to me, being able to work, being able to not have to rely on the government to, and I feel, I'm paying my debts, and no man is an island, and I thought I could, I thought I was hard, thought I was tough, thought I could do everything on my own, but the opposite is true. I was isolated. I was on the edge of the flock. And the wolves were just picking me off all the time. And I just, I couldn't do it on my own. And that while it was daunting to come here and to be a part of this, I'm learning that it's something I should have done long ago, but I wasn't ready. God's timing. as Stuart likes to say all the time, I'm a God-sized problem, but I wasn't hanging with God, and I wasn't hanging with his people. So how could he help me if I kept pushing him away, and pushing people like Stuart away, and the other ministers here, and the awesome people who had just been so supportive to me, and so I just love being here. Thanks for having the time to listen to what I've had to say. And I just hope that you'll support Stuart and his community chaplaincy. I really hope you do, because I'm going to do whatever I can to help. And as I grow in strength, and ability, and as I stick close with God, and get down on my knees and pray and wrestle with Him, and overcome the demons that plague me. As I do things His way, I see the improvements, and I see things that are just unbelievable, miracles. God is real. I've known this all my life, but I've never seen it. I've never stuck around any church long enough to see people who really are striving to be like Jesus, And I want to be like them. I've got so many good examples in my life now. I don't go to the places I used to go to. I don't do the things I used to do. And my goal, one of my goals, is to move out this way so that I can be a more productive member of the community, and I can give something back to this church, and to the community at large, and not be a problem anymore for myself or my family or anyone I come into contact with. I want to be, someone who can be relied upon, someone who can be trustworthy, and I'm demonstrating that through the work I've been doing. One of the functions of Airtasker is to provide reviews, and all my reviews are 5 stars, and they all are glowing, and that's because of the support that I've been given. I really hope that everyone can give generously and continue the good work that Stuart's doing, and St Luke's at large. So thanks for your time.